A lot of us, we often worry about almost everything, that we're not going to make it in life, that this isn't going to work out, that you might want to ask somebody out and they're going to say no. Listen, one thing that life has taught me, and most importantly God, is to not worry. Because why should I? We spend most of our time just in our minds, and you see, like, the things that we worry about, once we already have the answer, once we've underwent that situation, it worked out anyways, right? So why worry? If you trust in God, there's nothing to worry about. So every single time that Satan is tempting you with this nonsense about, oh, you should be worrying about this or worrying about that, don't even listen to that. Because you know better. God's not going to let you suffer from the things that He wants you to suffer from. He being Satan. If there's pain in your life, understand that it was sent by God, because it wasn't supposed to be yours in the first place. When you lost something, or it's a relationship that didn't work out, perhaps a business that didn't work out, but it's going to give you ideas on what's next. And that should always be your question. What is next? Because you can't just sit around doing nothing and just go to work, get home, watch a movie, sleep, and repeat, live for the weekends. Life is not about that. Okay? If you have a job, use it to, of course, take care of yourself, take care of your family, but feed your business, because that's what's going to make you get to the life that you actually want. And it shouldn't be the money that you're chasing. It should be the freedom. The freedom is the biggest thing, because you can have all the money in the world. You could be making $300,000-$400,000 a year, but if you're not free, is it worth it? If you're stuck like the person that's making $50,000 a year, just like the person that is stuck making $300K a year, yeah, your lifestyle might be inflated, you might have nicer things, but are you free? That's your question. So work on yourself, work on your business, and become the person that God wanted you to be from the get-go, because that is the person you need to become. And God doesn't want you to worry. So stop spending your time worrying about the nonsense when it's not even worth your time and your energy. It robs you of your focus. It robs you of your peace. And the thing is, with freedom, once you have that, you must have internal peace, because the internal peace is what's very important. Without that, you can have freedom, but if you're constantly fighting your mind from your past experiences, or whatever it is that might be dragging you down, that Satan is stabbing your back and tempting you with whatever sort of nonsense, do not listen to it. Do not subscribe to that kind of nonsense, because he is there to drag you down. Whether you make it or not, he's always going to be there with you, literally until the end. And when you become successful in whatever aspect it is, and he knows, because we're all personalizing our own success, our future, he knows that, because you know deep down in your soul, and he's the one that sees this in your soul, that whenever you speak about it to God, you got to understand that God is listening, but Satan is there listening too. So you need to be careful when it comes down to that, and only listen to God and what God has in store for you. And don't ever question God, because just when God might take a lot of things away from you, just like he did with Job. Job questioned him, and God's response was, who are you to question me? So don't question God, because everything that you're undergoing is with his purpose. Okay, you will figure it out with time. You might not understand why it's happening to you perhaps in this very moment, but God has it all lined up for you. And he reminds me many times that you should believe in me and be at peace with yourself, because your soul is the biggest thing. Your soul is what brings you the peace that you have inside. And if you keep getting disturbed mentally, it's gonna deep down affect you negatively. And God doesn't want that for you, but Satan does. So you just remember that whenever you have those moments where you just spike with anxiety, with anger, just pure madness, with worry, you now understand who's doing that to you. And God doesn't want you to listen to that, because God wants you at peace. And Satan will always rob you of that peace if you let him. So don't let him. And we all have our ways of dealing with it. Okay? What I have going on up here is not going to be the same thing that you have going up in your mind and in your heart. But as long as you believe in God, I can assure you this. If you speak to him, you believe in him, and you live in his ways, you will always be at peace. Because when Jesus was in the garden praying to God, Satan was there with him, right behind him, sending him snakes, the serpents, and distracting him. But what did God do? God gave Jesus strength to overcome the distractions. And with distractions come temptations.